So one of the things that you need to be aware of if you're just starting out, or even if you've been shooting for a while, it's good to remind yourself that once your sight is set, it's literally sighted in and sighted in right the way it's supposed to be, you shouldn't ever have to adjust your sight unless you have an adjustable sight for the distance. But otherwise, you know, if you're off, then you have to look at yourself. We always want to blame the bow or the sight, or something else has got to be off, but you can really go down a rabbit hole of making adjustments to your sight when your mechanics or something else is off that's causing your arrows to be inconsistent or inaccurate. It's easy to think it's your sight and start making all kinds of adjustments. Problem with that is once you start doing that, it can be very problematic and frustrating. So I've done it, and what I can tell you is, if you feel like it's really off and you want to make adjustments, write down exactly where your sight was adjusted on the numbers on your sight before you move it. That way, if you get frustrated, and typically it's not the sight, so you always know where to set it back to. Because I've definitely made a bunch of adjustments before and didn't remember where I started, so that was a real issue. And you're going to get really frustrated, and that frustration is not just going to last that day, it's going to go into multiple days, and because you don't know where it's supposed to be. So, and if you know how to get your sight sighted in properly, you can fix it. But if you don't know, then you're just going to frustrate yourself, and you want to avoid those types of things that bring you a lot of frustration and discourage you, because you're supposed to be having fun. You're supposed to be enjoying it, but there's nothing fun about slinging arrows all around the target except where it's supposed to go. And I've been there, so it's no fun. So check your mechanics, check your foundation, check all the steps, your stance, your grip, your anchor point, your release, your follow through, all those things. Check all those things as you go through your shots, and make sure those are all right, literally step by step through each shot, and do that 3 or 4 rounds, and you'll probably find that you're back on target. So just a suggestion. Okay, here's an example of my shots being off and not overreacting and starting to adjust my sights. So previous video I was talking about not adjusting your sights and adjusting your mechanics and checking yourself. So this is a good example. That video was from yesterday. I practiced for about 3 hours. This is this morning, and my groupings are way off. So I can start blaming it on my sight or my bow and start messing with things, or I can realize I might be a little tired from yesterday and slow down, focus on my mechanics and all my steps to ensure that all that's correct, because up until this, my groupings have been super tight, and so there's no reason to go adjusting anything. So if I can't correct it with my mechanics and after getting warm, then I'm probably too tired and I should rest, or just work on some drills, or go and work on some other stuff, build some arrows or something. But shooting when you're tired or when you're off is not a good idea, and it's just going to frustrate you. So this is my second round. First round looked pretty similar, so we'll see how the next 2 rounds go, if I can correct course, if I feel better. If not, then I'll probably just call it a day. Is what it is.